All right. BYU being good. I told you last week, one of my best bets of the week was BYU not beating. I didn't say beat, but I thought they would cover the 3 or whatever it was against Texas Tech. Now, if you lay out this box score for me, I might get a little worried because BYU offensively was bad. They weren't very good. Keaton Slovis, fine. BYU had 12 first downs. There came a point in the game, third or fourth quarter, when Tech brought it from 27-7 back to 27-14, and I thought, oh no, Tech might win this game. And then I thought, well, BYU's played too well. They played too well to lose, right? No. The offense, 12 first downs, bad. 4 for 14 on third downs, bad. 277 total yards, bad. Texas Tech had 100 more yards, 109 more passing yards. Keaton Slovis was 15 for 27. Bad. 4.7 yards per pass. BYU, though, unbelievable. 50 rushing yards. That's the one stat that I was going through. I was like, oh, that's not good. This is not good. 150 rushing yards. Awesome. Good for you. Finally. Texas Tech led the time of possession. Texas Tech had more penalties. That didn't help. But Tech had more rushing yards, more passing yards. I told you more total yards. They were 3 for 5 on fourth down, 9 for 18 on third down. They were better than BYU in so many areas of the game. And you know how BYU won this game? It's the same way that I've been telling you that BYU wins games all season long. I realized this around the Arkansas game. BYU is not going to dominate. They're not going to come out and just like as much as the score would tell you that BYU dominated this game, it was not total domination. It was just that one play, 2 play, 3 play, 4 play, 5 turnovers forced in this game is what made the difference. BYU didn't have to be pristine on offense when so many turnovers. Tech's giving the ball away to BYU when your freshman quarterback's tossing 3 interceptions. And look, what I like about Jake Strong is that he's going to be such a good quarterback in a couple of years. Give him some time. I think Jake Strong for Tech could be a solid QB, a solid signal caller in this league. But because one of every 5 passes, I'm like, dang, yes, that. But then another one out of the 5 is an interception, and the other 3 are pretty bad. What I don't understand about BYU, and it's not sustainable. It's the reason BYU lost to TCU as bad as they did, because it is this, we play on luck. We play on the big play. When that apex, somebody needs something big to happen. There's a massive fourth down. This has to go right. We need a turnover. BYU just does it. And they win at night. They win it. Maybe that's what it is too. It's something so innate about this team that the mundane is hard. The spectacular is easy. That's the best way to describe BYU. The easier it is, like running the ball, the easier it is to do, the worse BYU is at. The harder it is to do, forcing turnovers, the better BYU is. The BYU Cougars had more rushing yards than passing yards and only 12 first downs. Lost the time of possession. Like I don't know what you gave up 100 yards to Taj Brooks. Everything that I thought could go possibly wrong for BYU in like just the stats can just read down the stat line. Yep. Bad. The running game being better, but the passing game being so statistically dismal hurts. But you know what it is? Once again, it's the reason we cannot read into BYU box scores. Same thing against Cincinnati. Sure, these stats look bad, but a lot of this is a field position battle. BYU forcing turnovers, getting the ball in plus territory, utilizing long-ish drives, capitalizing when it matters most. That's what BYU's done this season, and it's what makes them dangerous. It's not going to give you a 12-0 season. It's not going to give you a 10-2 season, but it might win BYU 8 or 9 games this year because BYU is doing something that Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston are not, and that is making those plays. While you take a game for a Cincinnati who ran the ball so well against Baylor, for a UCF who played so well against Oklahoma, for a Houston that took Texas all the way down to the wire, what did those teams not do? They don't make the last play. They don't make the game-breaking play. They don't make the game-changing play. They don't get it done when it matters the most, when the clock's striking midnight and you got to do something. And maybe that's a sad excuse for maybe somebody out there's like, oh, this guy's a terrible analyst. No, it's just what happens. If you watch a BYU game, you think, I don't know how this is going on. It's just what BYU does. And for Texas Tech, when you're playing a team like that, a new team in the Big 12, you've got to capitalize. I don't know. I thought Texas Tech was a dark horse to win the Big 12. I thought Texas Tech was going to be so good this year with either Tyler Shuck or Baron Morton. Both those guys weren't great. Jake Strong, I don't expect him to be great. But freshman quarterback aside, this, I mean, Texas Tech is obviously not Alabama. It's not Georgia. But in the Big 12, you've got every opportunity to be a high caliber team. And the high caliber teams can plug and play a new quarterback and still be good. Look at what Kansas State's doing with Avery Johnson. I know Will Howard's not hurt. They can still use him. That's become a deadly two-headed monster. But look, this is an adaptation to bring in Avery Johnson. Texas Tech looks really bad. You bring in a new OC who's supposed to be lights out. This OC is supposed to be lights out. You put up 14 points against BYU. BYU night game strikes again. Tech, man, we're going to have a lot of conversations this week. Joey McGuire, obviously safe, but dude, at 3-5, 2-3 in conference play, this is bad. This is really bad. And this is Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.